Hey guys, it's Danny, and today I am showing you how to make no-bake matcha energy balls, not one, but two delicious ways. Now, first up, I have my matcha pistachio and cranberry energy bites, and this version uses dates and cashews and pistachios to create the base. And all of those ingredients create a very delightfully sweet and chewy texture. And then the second version are my no-bake matcha protein bites, which have a base of almond butter, oatmeal, and protein powder. So the texture is a little bit drier, but still creamy from the nut butter. And then you get the little pop bite from the chia seeds, which I really love. And each one of these balls packs nearly 5 grams of protein. So as per usual, you've got options. And remember guys, there's no right or wrong way to eat. The only right way to eat is to choose foods that feel good for you and your body. Boom. So you're gonna do a big thumbs up there, okay? Now, for both of these recipes, I am using a mini food processor. I highly recommend a 4-cup food processor. Most food processors are 3, but you can get a 4-cup, which I will link down in the description box below. And I also have a small rimmed baking sheet that I've got lined with a little bit of parchment paper. And finally, if you are not familiar with matcha, matcha is simply a green tea powder that is super rich in antioxidants. And remember, my friends, antioxidants are what fight off free radicals in the body. So not only is it preventative, but it also helps to support healthy glowing skin, it lowers blood sugar levels, and it's been said to speed up metabolism. So it's a really fun, functional food to incorporate into your kitchen. And if you want to learn more about it, make sure to check out my Matcha 101, which you can find up in the cards, or again, I will link it down in the description box below. So let's get started with the matcha pistachio cranberry bites. Into my food processor goes 2/3 of a cup of raw cashews, 1/3 of a cup raw shelled pistachios, and then a 1/2 cup of pitted Medjool dates, which is about 6 dates. Now, the Medjool dates are the really big, soft, sweet, creamy dates, and you need to get the pit out of the middle. So you just pull the date apart, and then you'll see this little pit in the middle, just pull it right out. Now, if your dates are a little bit dry and not super plump, no big deal, just put them in a bowl, cover them with some hot water for about 10-15 minutes, and that will totally revive them so they're soft and juicy and plump, and then you can move forward from there. Then I've got 2 tablespoons of shredded coconut, 2 tablespoons of cranberries, and 2 teaspoons of matcha powder, along with a pinch of sea salt. Pop the lid on and then pulse this back and forth, back and forth. I like to go in both directions until everything starts to break down and gets incorporated. Now, when it's ready to roll, you're gonna see that it almost looks like a wet sand, but it's not stuck together. But once you get it in your hand, if you give it a little squish, it does stick together. So grab about a tablespoon of the mixture and then just form it into a ball, just like that. Place it on the rim baking sheet and then repeat, repeat, repeat until you've worked through all of the mixture. You're gonna end up with about 16 balls. These are so good. I love the texture. They're sweet and they're chewy, and then you get a little bit of crunch from the nuts and the coconut. You guys are going to love this version. Next up are the no-bake protein matcha bites, and for this recipe, I'm starting with 4 tablespoons of all-natural almond butter. One tip here, make sure that you're using almond butter that's nice and loose and creamy. You know, like when you first open the jar and it looks like this. If you use the dried up almond butter, that can sometimes happen at the bottom of the jar, it's gonna be harder to get the texture we're looking for with these. So loose and creamy. Then a 1/2 cup of rolled oats, 1 scoop or 20 grams of vanilla protein powder. Now you could use any type of protein powder you want. You could do a whey protein powder, collagen-based protein powder, a vegan protein powder. They will all work, so use what you like, and I will be sure to link to some of my personal favorites down in the description box below. Then we've got 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of honey, 2 teaspoons of coconut oil that I've melted down, and a pinch of sea salt. And then finally, 2 teaspoons of the matcha powder. Now, the matcha that I'm using for these is actually a mango matcha from a company called the Matcha Reserve. They have all these different flavored matcha powders. So they have like caramel, vanilla, blueberry, strawberry, mango, and I've really come to love that. If you guys want to check that out, I will leave a link down below. If you use my code Danny Matcha. It will save you 15% off of your purchase. Otherwise, any matcha that you have will work. Plain matcha is perfectly fine for this recipe as well. Okay, pop on the lid, and again, I'm gonna pulse this back and forth in each direction until the mixture starts to come together. It's not gonna be completely binded, it's gonna have that wet sand texture, but you will see that everything is incorporated and mixed well. Dump it into a bowl just because it's easier to work with that way. And then I grab about a heaping teaspoon, squish it in my hand, and form it into a ball just like we did before. Place it on the baking sheet and repeat until you've got all the balls rolled out and ready to go. These protein bites are gonna get you about 12 balls. From here, I just pop them in the fridge for a couple hours so that they can set up, and then I transfer them into an airtight container, and they will last happily in your fridge for up to 2 weeks. I don't prefer these in the freezer because I find they get a little too hard, although if you knew you were gonna be like packing them in the morning and then eating them for lunch later in the day, then maybe you would wanna keep them in the freezer so that they stay nice and cool, but still soft and chewy by the time you get to them later in the afternoon. And of course, I now want to know which one you think you will try first and why. Come on down to the comments below and let me know. And don't forget to snap a picture when you try these recipes and tag me on Instagram and on Facebook so I can see what you are whipping up in your very own kitchens. And if you haven't already, could you please do me a favor and take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this video with anyone else you know who wants to make healthy eating easy. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Danny Spies. I will see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers. This is so delicious. It's sweet and it's chewy. It's got a great texture because you, ready, boom. These are delicious because they're super sweet from the dates, but it's got a nice little crunch from the, here we go. These are so good. They're super sweet from the dates, and I love that there's no added sugar, and you get that little bite from the nuts and the coconut.
No.